Hey everybody, this is Eno and welcome to the Dynamic Prepper. Today I got another top 10 list for you, top 10 home security hacks. Cheap and easy ways to secure your home. Protect your family, protect your house, protect your belongings on a budget. The best way to protect your home is to have a security system installed. Call a company out, have a nice security system installed, the whole 9 yards, 24-hour monitoring, maybe even security cameras with night vision, monthly fee, all that. That's a great system and it will really secure your house and protect your family. But unfortunately, that's not always in the budget for a lot of us. So what are some cheap and easy ways that we can drastically increase the security and safety of our home? Protect against home invasion and burglary, both when we're home and when we're not at home. So that's what this video is all about. The talking hands are going to let you know how to secure your home. And let's get started. Number one, check your windows and doors. The majority of home invasions come through a window or door that is open or unlocked. That's a fact. So the first thing you want to do after you're done watching this video is get up, walk around your house, and check every single window and every single door. Make sure they are functioning properly. Make sure they are locked. Don't depend on other members of your family. If they open the windows to sort of air out the house on a nice day or whatever, that they're going to close the windows properly, that they're going to be fully closed, they're going to be locked, the whole 9 yards. Make sure if they're not closed, you close them. Make sure if they're not locked, you lock them. Make sure if they're not functioning properly, you fix them. Do this now. Don't wait until it's too late. You want to be proactive on this. Also, window coverings. Make sure that your window coverings are functioning properly. Close your drapes, close your blinds at night. After the sun goes down, get them closed. There's no reason to have people be able to look into your house, see all your cool stuff, see what you guys are doing, see who's home, see if there's anybody home or not somebody home. These are all things you want to protect yourself against. So after it gets dark, make sure those window coverings are closed. It's a good idea to keep them closed pretty much all the time, unless you're at home and you want to open up a window or something like that. But if not, keep your windows and doors closed. Keep your drapes closed. There's no reason to allow people to be looking into your home for any reason. Most houses that are burglarized or invaded are actually cased beforehand to some level. So you want to keep that in mind. Don't give anybody a free look inside your house. So get up, check those windows and doors, make sure they're locked, make sure they're functioning properly. Number two, install motion lights. Last thing a burglar wants when they're prowling around your house is for big floodlights to come on. Motion lights are not overly expensive, and if you're handy around the house and know your way around a electrical socket, you can wire these up yourself and have good motion lights around your house. Attach them to your outdoor lights, floods, things like that. If not, you can call a company out and have them installed for you. It's a good idea even if you do or don't have a security system installed on top of that. It's always a good idea to have motion lights installed around your house. And if it's not something that you currently have, they're not overly expensive, and it's a good idea to have them installed. So at night, if something is moving around outside your house, it's going to trip those motion lights. And a lot of times that's enough to convince someone that this is not the house to go invading. So that's a good idea. Number three is good landscaping. You can accomplish a lot by some very simple landscaping in making your home not an attractive target to a home invader. Number one is you want to trim your bushes and trees. Trim your bushes down to below 2 feet. Make sure that your trees are properly trimmed. You don't want to have access to windows or access to second floors by being able to climb a tree. So make sure your trees are trimmed. Make sure your bushes are properly trimmed so people can't have cover behind or concealment behind a bush or something while they're jimmying with a window or something like that. If you've got big, landscaping trees alongside your house next to your windows and stuff like that, that could allow a nice place for a burglar to tuck away behind that tree and jimmy a window open and have nobody be able to see them, neighbors and things like that. They would be, during the day or at night, would be able to basically spend as much time as they needed there without running the risk of somebody seeing them. So you want to make sure you trim your bushes to below 2 feet. And, if you have big trees in front of windows or next to windows or something like that, consider just cutting them down and getting rid of them. That's what we did at our house. We just chopped them all down. There's no reason to have those. They pose more of a security risk than anything else. The other thing you can do too is if you're looking at landscaping around your house, Two things that you could consider if this is something that might be up your alley, if you're planning on re-landscaping some stuff or you're looking to increase your security, is instead of using mulch around your house, use gravel. It's impossible to walk across gravel without making a lot of noise. It's just noisy stuff. And so if somebody's walking around the perimeter of your house outside, mulch is very quiet. Gravel, you're going to hear those footsteps. That might be enough to wake you up, or a pet or something like that, to alert you that somebody's creeping around outside. The other thing is, put some hellish bushes below your windows. Thorny stuff, briars, just whatever you can do to make the bushes below your windows just as horrible as possible, the better. Big, thorny, just gnarly hell bushes below each window is a great deterrent from people being able to peep inside your windows, or look inside your windows, or approach a window to possibly break into a house. So thorny bushes, gravel, keep everything nicely trimmed, low, and not allowing access to second floors. That's something you want to take into consideration. Number 4, know the people around you and the people that interface with your house on a regular basis. Obviously, you want to get to know your neighbors. Having a good relationship with your neighbors, they, keeping an eye on your house for you while you're away. We'll get to that a little bit later. If they hear a noise, look out the window. Maybe they might see something, see somebody, call the cops. You want to be friendly with your neighbors, so that you're going to help them, they're going to help you. A good neighborhood security is always a powerful deterrent to burglars and home invaders. And also, you want to get to know the people that are interfacing with your house on a daily basis. You have things like postal workers, garbage men, UPS, FedEx delivery men, things like that. Maybe people you don't really necessarily realize right away that are coming to your house on almost a daily basis, a lot of them, or at least a weekly basis, or at least pretty often. And you want to get to know these people, get to know your postal workers, get to know your garbage man, get to know your delivery people, so that when they're delivering a package to your door, you know who they are. You know who's ringing your doorbell or knocking on your door trying to deliver a package. Normally they don't do that anymore. They'll just leave it on your doorstep. But if somebody knocks on your door, oh yeah, that's Joe, the delivery guy, or that's Frank, the garbage man, or whatever. These people, get to know them, be friendly with them, give them a Christmas gift, give them a card on their birthday, get them on your side. These are people that are literally coming up to your house on a very regular basis, and you want to know who they are. They can help you keep your house more secure, and you also want to know who they are, so if they do come to the door, they're a familiar face, and that's important. Number 5. Never open your front door. The majority of home invasions come right through the front door. They're either going to trick you into opening the door, or they're going to jimmy or break or pick your front door to get into your house. So you never want to open your door for any reason. I know this sounds a little extreme. In a perfect world, we would have a P.O. box. We would never call delivery pizza or anything like that. We'd have no reason for anyone to ever approach our house. So that if somebody knocked on the door, right away it's suspicious. But, it's a real world. We got deliveries coming to our homes. Make sure you keep a track of your deliveries. If you order something on Amazon, you get your tracking numbers. Make sure you know when these things are coming. You're expecting somebody to come to your door. Your postal workers. Your FedEx and your UPS delivery men. So if they come to your door with a package, you know who they are. If you have somebody come to your door and you don't know who they are, I don't care what they say, do not open that door. And this is especially important for family members, children, spouses, stuff like that. If they're home alone or whatever, never open the door for somebody. A lot of homes are cased, as I said before, are cased before they are broken into to some level. And your more sort of professional burglars and things like that may portray delivery or servicemen in order to case a home. So they might actually knock on your front door and get you to open the door. They can see in, they can see if you got a dog. They might even use that as an opportunity to break into your home. So never open up your door for anybody. The important thing to understand with this is, do not ignore somebody who knocks on your door. That's an absolute no-no. Never ignore someone who's knocking on your door, especially if they're doing it persistently. Walk up to the other side of the door, talk to them through the door. That's a perfectly viable way to carry on a conversation. They will be able to hear everything you say. You say, what do you want? No matter what they say back to you, you say, I'm not interested. Get off my property. Get out of my front yard. Go away from my door. I'm going to call the cops if you don't go away. Be firm and let them know that you are not interested and you are not going to be opening the door for them. So don't open the door for anybody, but do not ignore people who are knocking at your door. If you get somebody who's insistently knocking at your door and you don't answer, you pretend that nobody's home, the next thing you might be getting is that guy breaking into your home. So make sure that you let them know that somebody's home and that you are aware that they are there and that you are firm that you are not going to open the door, and you will call the authorities if they continue. So be firm with that sort of stuff. Number 6, the faux dog. I like this one. If you have a dog already, you don't have to worry about this. Dogs of any type are great for deterring home invasions and burglars. They're hyper aware of things. They can hear and sense people outside and things going on in the house that we humans don't. They can hear things before we do. They sense things and smell things out of the ordinary before we do. Just the simple fact of having a dog in the house, having that level of awareness of a dog, and also potentially something that's going to start barking at somebody, messing around with a window or a door outside. That's the last thing a burglar wants is, jimmying with a window and having any dog on the other side of it yapping its little head off. And next thing you know, the lights come on, everybody wakes up, and what's going on around here? That's not what any burglar wants. So it's not necessarily important to have a protection dog. Just having really any dog is a good idea. I do not, we have dogs in our house, and I do not try to train my dogs not to bark. I want my dogs to bark. If you approach my home, I want my dog to bark at you. If something's going on outside, I want my dog to bark. Barking collars and all that kind of stuff, that totally defeats the purpose. So it's, if you got a dog who's quick to bark at stuff, that's a good thing for home security. If you don't have a dog, consider using the faux dog method. And there's a couple of subtle ways you can do this. You can buy a sign that says, beware of dog, and, put it on your fence or something like that. Then, that works. I think it's a little heavy-handed, but it does work. The other thing you can do is be a little bit subtle with it. Put a water bowl outside. Put it next to your garage, next to the front door, on the back patio, stuff like that. I know a friend of mine who did that, and then also he took a tennis ball and just threw it in the backyard and just left it laying in the backyard, like, it's the dog's ball sitting in the backyard. He didn't have a dog. But giving the impression that you have a dog in the house is a lot of times enough to deter people from breaking in. Again, most houses are cased to some extent before they're broken into. If you can give the impression that you have a dog in the house, that might be enough for them to skip your house and go on to somebody else's. So the faux dog does work. Number 7, the faux security system. So security systems are expensive, but you can fake it. You can actually fake it pretty inexpensively. One of the first things you can do is go out to like Amazon or eBay, and you can buy the little yard signs and the stickers to stick on your windows and your doors that indicate that you have a security system, that your home is protected by a security system. These sign and sticker kits are not expensive. I think they're 30, 40, maybe $50 for a kit. It'll come with a couple of signs and enough stickers to stick around on all your windows and doors. And a lot of times this is enough to deter someone from trying to break into your home. They walk up to it, they see from the road the signs, or they walk up to your house and see on the door, on the window, you have your security system sticker on the door. That they're not going to risk it. They're not going to say, well, is it real? That's enough usually to deter them from hitting your house, maybe moving on to someone else's, or just leaving the area if you're lucky. Another thing you can do too, if you want to take it one step further, is you can buy fake security cameras. They're available online. They're relatively inexpensive. Just buying a couple of them, hanging them up outside, a lot of times, again, that's enough. As somebody's passing your house, maybe doing a light case of the area, they say, oh, that house has a security system and cameras, let's pass it by, go on to the next one. So again, you're not, really looking to, they're not going to be investigating your home really closely to see if all this stuff's real. A lot of times just having that impression that you are a hard target like that is enough to get them to move on to the next house or out of the area. So that's good. The other thing that I like to, and I contemplated moving this into a separate like standalone thing, but this is a really good idea, especially if you are in a, it depends on your setup of your house, but if you're in an apartment, this works too, is what I call the house car alarm, or the car house alarm. either way. And this is not going to work for everyone, but try it out. If it works for you, this is a really good idea. So most people that have modern cars these days will have a security alarm on their car. And you'll have some sort of key fob like this one here. I'm explaining how a key fob works, right? That you can arm and disarm your car alarm. And located on there for most of them is usually a red button. That's panic button. And if you press that button, it automatically trips your car alarm. Well, if you park outside or park in a parking spot or park in your driveway or even in the garage, it's a good idea to take your key fob, go into your bedroom, sit down next to your nightstand and press the panic button and see if you can trip your car alarm. If you can, the house alarm may work for you. If you have an extra key fob, just keep it on your nightstand all the time. If you don't, just get in the habit of leaving your keys on your nightstand next to you when you're sleeping. And if you hear that proverbial bump in the night, you fear somebody might be breaking in, just pick up your keys, hit that panic button, set off that car alarm. A lot of times that's going to be enough to deter somebody from coming into your house, wake up your neighbors and peek out the window, what's going on out there? A lot of times that's enough to deter somebody from breaking into your home. And it's a quick and easy way to set off some sort of loud noise alarm to let them know that their presence is known. So that's a really good hack if it works for you. If you're out of range or you don't have a car that has a security alarm on it, obviously this is not going to work for you. But if it does, try it out. If it works for you, it's a really good, cheap and easy way to sort of fake a security alarm. All right. So number 8, tend your home. One of the things that a lot of people will look for in a house is to see if you're actively home. And if you're not, this might be a way that they make a decision to try to enter your home. And whether or not you're home or not, you want to make sure that the things around your house are properly tended to. So make sure your garbage goes out on garbage day. Make sure you take the cans back in from the street promptly when garbage is picked up. Make sure your lawn is mowed. Make sure your mailbox isn't overflowing with mail. There isn't, 5 newspapers piled up on your front porch. You want to make sure you're giving the impression that you're home, that you're around, and that you're vigilant and you're paying attention to things and you're active. And if you miss garbage day, that might be an indication that to a burglar that you're not home. If you leave your garbage cans on the street for 3 days, that's another indication that you might not be home. If your yard isn't mowed, again, you might not be home. If your mail is piling up or you got newspapers all over the place, again, this is an indication that you might not be home. And you might be home, but you just might be lazy. So don't give the impression under any circumstances that there's not somebody around in the house or around the house tending to everything. Again, these are signs that burglars and home invaders look to decide if maybe your home is a potential target. So if you're home, make sure you're tending to all these things. Make sure you're tending your garbage, you're tending your lawn, you're tending your mail, and everything is in tip-top shape, that it looks like somebody's home and active. Number 9, keep your garage door closed. You don't want to advertise the things that are in your garage. Also, the door, a lot of times, that leads from the garage into the house is one of the least secured doors in people's homes. It's often left unlocked, and it's a lot of times not a very secure door. It might only have a simple lock that can be picked relatively easy on it. Sometimes they have deadbolts, sometimes they don't. Especially if it's an older home, this is something you want to take into consideration. So keep your garage door closed, keep your garage secured. If you have windows in your garage, make sure you have coverings on them. Don't allow somebody to look into your garage to see all your cool stuff, to see if your cars are in the garage, to see if you're home or not. These are not things you want people to know. So either have window coverings on windows of your door, or do what we did. We just went to the store and bought it's like a spray paint can, and it's like a window frosting. We just sprayed the window with that window frosting. So it lets all the light in, but you can't actually see through it. So that works really well too. And you want to make sure that you're not advertising to anybody that you're not home, or that you're not paying attention to what's going on, or that you got cool tools or really expensive bicycle, or whatever else in your garage that people can just walk off with, or allow them access into the house through that door that goes into your house that you might not be really paying a lot of attention to in a lot of cases. So that's always something you want to consider. If you're not home, if you're going on vacation, consider padlocking your garage door. The other thing you can do is take a C-clamp and clamp it to the rail where the little guide wheels run up on each side of the garage door. Take a C-clamp and just clamp it to the rail above one of those wheels, and it makes it almost impossible for somebody to be able to manually lift the garage door up. It really does provide you a little bit of extra security there. Obviously, when you come home, you can't go through the garage. You have to go through another door in your house, but that's okay. A little bit of inconvenience is not too bad. So those are some things that you can do. Also, make sure at the end of the day that everything comes back into the garage that gets out of the garage. So if you got yard tools and the kids' toys and stuff like that you normally keep in the garage, and you're doing yard work, or the kids are outside playing, and don't leave any of that stuff outside. Bring it all back into the garage. Obviously, it can be stolen if you leave it outside, but the other thing it can do is it can provide a burglar some impromptu tools to be able to smash a window into your house, be able to provide an improvised weapon, or all sorts of different things. They can take a tricycle and smash it through your sliding window or something like that. You don't want to provide a burglar anything that he doesn't have already. So make sure that those things, anything that is normally kept in the garage like that, tools and toys and skateboards and all that, is brought into the garage at the end of the night, closed. Lock the door from the garage into your house. Make sure all that stuff is secured. All right, so keep mindful of your garage. Most burglaries and things like that are actually garage burglaries anyway. So they are considered softer targets than actually coming into your home. So keep that in mind. Number 10, last one, is going on vacation. Make sure you take appropriate precautions when you go on vacation. Number 1, do not tell anybody that you're going on vacation ahead of time, other than the people who are going to be tending to your home and your affairs while you're away. So if you have neighbors that are going to pick up your mail, or if you're going to stop your mail, you're going to go down to the post office and have them hold your mail for a few days while you're gone, or family member, or somebody's going to come over and tend your pets while you're gone, or if take out your garbage and bring your cans back in. Those people obviously have to know that you're going to be gone, but you don't want anybody else knowing that you're gone. So don't be posting on your Facebook and your Twitter that you're going to Hawaii for 2 weeks prior to it. While you're gone, don't be posting photos and things like that of your awesome vacation to your social media. Go ahead and just ignore that. You can post them all when you get home. There's no reason to be able to give potential burglars and I'll talk about this difference between burglars in a minute, but you don't want to give a more professional burglar a reason to be, who might be casing you and following your movements, the indication that you're not home. So keep all that stuff off of your social media until after you get back. Don't say, hey, I'm really looking forward to my trip to Hawaii next week. Now potentially somebody could be monitoring that, so you want to make sure you don't do that kind of stuff. Again, I talked about this before. Padlock your garage door. Use a C-clamp to secure your garage door while you're not there, and make sure that all the drapes are closed. Make sure that all your doors and windows are locked and secured before you leave. Make sure you do a run through your entire house. You'd be surprised how many people forget to do that. Leave lights on. Lights on timers are a really great idea. They even now have these little devices, little boxes that you can buy. You plug them in. They have a timer on them, and they turn on at night, and it makes it look like there's a TV on. They have like different colored lights, and they flicker and stuff like that. It makes it look like there's a TV on in the room. That's amazing stuff that you can get nowadays. So that might be something too, a cheap, inexpensive way that you can make it look like somebody is home. But the big thing there is, make sure you stop your mail. Make sure you got people picking it up. Make sure your garbage cans go out on garbage day, get picked back up right away. Make sure you got people keep that, your neighbors or relatives or whatever, that know that you're gone. They're keeping an eye on your house for you to make sure that nothing weird is going on around there. And so as promised, I told you I'd talk for a brief minute about the different kinds of burglars. There's really two different kinds of burglars. There's the more the professional burglar, what I call the daytime burglar, and then there's the nighttime burglar. And the daytime burglar is typically somebody who's doing this more of a professional. They want soft targets. They don't want you to be home. They're going to get in and out quick. They're casing your home. They got everything figured out before they go in. A lot of times you didn't even know that they've been there until you go to find your iPad, or your wife goes into her jewelry box and finds out everything's gone. You know, it's a real high value type of hit. And you, of course, don't want to give them any reason to come into your home by advertising what's in your home, by leaving your windows open and things like that. From a security standpoint, from a self-defense standpoint, you typically don't have a lot to worry about those kinds of burglars. They don't want you home. They don't want you around. They're not interested in confrontations or fights or anything like that. They just want to break into your home, steal your good stuff, and get out of there. The nighttime burglar is the one that is really dangerous. This is typically going to be somebody who's high on drugs, who's not making very good decisions. They don't care if you're home. They might even want you home. If you're home, you can show them where all your good stuff is. If you're a firearms owner, that might not be a deterrent. You know, stealing firearms might be something that's on their high on their list to do. They might target you because they know that you have firearms in the house and they know you have other things. They might also not be thinking clearly because of drugs or whatever else. They may not even take that kind of stuff into consideration. They have a tendency to be criminals. Obviously they're criminals, but violent criminals, and the potential of a real safety hazard to your family is definitely, these are not the people that you want to have in your home. So that becomes a very dangerous situation, those nighttime burglars. So these are some great ways that you can deter either of them from coming into your home. Hope you enjoyed top 10 home security hacks. Leave a comment below, like the channel, and share. Comment below with your thoughts, maybe anything else that you have that you want to add. You know, I'd love to hear it. I'm sure there's a ton more ideas and things like that people can come up with. I got some more ideas myself, just didn't make the top 10 list. So there you go, top 10 home security hacks. And don't forget, we got the Battle Box giveaway going on for the month of October, so don't forget to head over to that video and enter the free giveaway for Mission 20 Battle Box. We also have a TAC Pack coming up real soon, and don't forget to use that promo code. If you sign up in the month of October, basically from now on, you're signing up for November's TAC Pack, and November's TAC Pack is going to be really great because it's $125 worth of stuff in November's TAC Pack. It's the most valuable TAC Pack that they have ever done. $125 worth of gear for $49.95, and if you use the promo code Dynamic Prepper Pack, you're going to get that free gift with your first month's TAC Pack. So $125 TAC Pack for November for $50. Use the promo code. You get the AR-15 magazine to go along with it. So it's a really good deal. So check that out too. We got some more sub box reviews coming up for October, and of course a lot of other great videos. So thanks for tuning in. Take it easy.